きめきの予感駆けてくるあなた自分でもわかる胸の高鳴り深呼吸一つ本気を出して確かな声で Love me please.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another penny stock video. It is fall, so we're going into what's usually the best season for OTC penny stocks, so really excited about that. Plus the football season is starting as well, so best time of year. Good to be back. We're going to be taking a look at BRNE in this video. So BRNE, you can see it's 0013 right now, very cheap stock. We'll get to the share structure first, as we always do, and then I'll tell you about what's going on with this stock. So the share structure here, you can see it's a little bit of a weird one. Outstanding shares of over 10 billion, but 9.7 billion of those are restricted. And then unrestricted, 715 million, but even less is actually trading out there in the market, with held at DTC being only 432 million shares, which is really nice held at DTC for this price. But what's going on with all the restricted? Well, I have a feeling that quite a few of these restricted shares will end up getting canceled because there has been a change of control for this stock. So anytime we get a change of control or a merger, obviously it creates a compelling story in the OTC and usually draws interest to the stock. So obviously we're going to have to take a look at this one. So here's the filing for that. You can see Robert Ripplinger here of Ripplinger Royalties, a little bit of a tongue twister. But Robert Ripplinger took majority control of BRNE on August 13th, so just a couple weeks ago now. And the story has been developing ever since as people have started diving into what's going on with this stock. And we're just waiting on an official update or an official piece of news from Robert Ripplinger, the new management here, which I believe is coming soon as well, because if we take a look here at this tweet, from at ST North 19 Stock Trips, he said he shows here he emails Robert from BRNE and says, you know, I'm a shareholder in BRNE, I see that you've taken control, when are we going to have news, basically, right? And he says, good questions. We are radio silent while we do compliance items, then a news stream will follow. Thank you for your patience. So typically, you know, there's a few things the lawyers have to do once you get a change of control, and they have to just, you know, kind of sign off all the docs, make everything official. You know, lawyer stuff, not a lawyer. I don't know what the hell they do, but they do things. So that's that. So that means that, you know, the company's active. He's already active, replying to emails. So that tells me that there's going to be news in the near future, because he said there's news stream coming. Right, so that's always good to hear because company communication is great. And so let's take a look at his venture capital firm here, Ripplinger Royalties Corp. So this is his kind of central hub for operations, I guess you could say, and it's basically like an investment firm, venture capital firm, where they invest in all these projects. You can see he holds 14 patents, which is huge. Obviously, OTC stocks have made huge runs off patents alone in the past, and has built startups into multi-million-dollar acquisitions by major companies like Sunoco and large VCs like Malcolm Kim Chase III. So he was actually, Malcolm Kim Chase III is a billionaire. He's son of Malcolm Chase I, I think, was the start of the legacy. And he's a board member, or was a board member of Berkshire Hathaway when he purchased one of Robert Ripplinger's companies. And then obviously Sunoco, major oil and gas company, had purchased his other company. So that's really impressive resume to have sold two companies now to multi-billion-dollar entities. Very impressive, particularly to be involved in an OTC stock. Quite rare to see something like this. Really good resume. Super excited. And then this is the rest of his family that works with him in the Ripplinger Royalties Co. or Corp. And you can see he's done projects here, Jacob Ripplinger, for majors such as Sunoco and Thermo Fisher Scientific, both New York Stock Exchange listed stocks. He worked with Robert at EconoReal, which was the company that they sold to Sunoco, and he holds 5 patents himself. And so all of these patents get to fall under this Ripplinger Royalties Corporation, which is obviously led by Robert Ripplinger, who is now in control of BRNE. So let's take a look at their projects here. And you can see that they're mainly in mining and oil and gas production related projects. So they have the Tico Gold project. This is actually currently publicly listed I think it's TMNIF, if I recall correctly, that this is publicly listed on the Canadian markets. So they're doing solid. They're off to a good start. And then you have Portland Mines stockpiled ore, and then oil and gas projects, which they don't talk a ton about here, but they have them as well. Technology, research, development. You can see here supply and trading, and then industrial metals and ore concentrates. Right. So they do have another project that's not under Ripplinger Royalties Corp, but Robert Ripplinger is lead director on this project here, which is Rare Earth Ridge Resources. So it's rareearthridgeresources.com if you want to check them out. This is the home page. Okay, if you look at About Us, once this loads up, you can see what they're all about here. Go down to team, and you can see President, CEO, co-founder Barry Miller, and director, co-founder Robert Ripplinger. So that's our guy, and he's very much involved. He's a co-founder of Rare Earth Ridges. So Rare Earth Ridge Resources, let's take a look at what they actually do here. They have this really interesting project at Major Mount Hart Project. So this is a new mining project in British Columbia, and it's supposed to be the largest source of rare earth materials, according to them, or they believe it could be the largest source of rare earth materials in British Columbia. For those that don't know, British Columbia has become a booming center for mining. Canadian mining industry is going crazy. As you can see here, this stat here, mining is estimated to be worth $5.6 billion for the province, almost double what it was in 2001, right? So since 2001, mining industry has doubled in British Columbia, that province alone in Canada. If we take a look at the map here, this is where it's at, Major Hart Peak, right in British Columbia. Here's Dease Lake, which they reference on their website as well, 54 miles northeast of there. So if this is what's going into BRNE as part of Robert's taking over that ticker, right? The speculation is, okay, Rare Earth Ridge Resources. These are like a lot of tongue twisters. Robert Ripplinger, Rare Earth Ridge. So it's a lot, but the speculation is that this is going to be going into BRNE, which would be, I would assume quite ideal of a scenario, considering it looks like a very promising project. Let's take a little more at Mount Hart property, okay, located just outside of the Golden Triangle, within the tin tungsten belt of British Columbia, adjacent to the Golden Triangle. Mount Hart project represents a strategic exploration venture. This region, celebrated for its rich history in mining, offers an ideal combination of prospective geology and established infrastructure. All right, so they talk about it somewhere here. There's a lot of information on this website, but essentially it's supposed to be what they think is one of the largest rare earth mineral deposits in this entire province. So if that's the case, obviously they've quite literally struck gold and a lot of other metals as well. So it looks to be promising. Go check out their website and read all about it. I'm not going to read every word to you here, but rareearthridgeresources.com, and just go look at what Robert Ripplinger is involved in. Here's his LinkedIn. Managing Director at Scottish Royal Capital LLC as well. So he's really involved in some big things here, which is a venture capital and private equity investments firm. It's very similar to Ripplinger Royalties Corp. So he's actually Managing Director / founder of two basically venture capital firms, right? And now he has ROTC stock, BRNE. And you can see again, Econo Real, he sold it to Sunoco, mentions here, and Spool Tech is what he sold to Malcolm Chase III, who was a Berkshire Hathaway board member. So you can go check out his LinkedIn and read more about him. You can check out riproyalties.com, and you can check out rareearthridgeresources.com. Do some of your own due diligence, but it definitely looks promising. It trades nicely. Like I said, it only has this 432 million shares traded in the market right now, held at DTC, which is a pretty good float, especially for these prices. So a lot of times, as we've seen, it's usually $1 billion plus shares, pretty standard for OTC. So anytime you can get under 500 million is really nice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be one of the stocks that kicks off fall season for OTC. Fall is always really, really great for OTC. I'm always super excited when the season comes around to trade OTC again, because it's my favorite market to trade. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be great. We're going to have more and more stock content coming soon. I have a bunch of stocks I want to talk about. The next one's also a mining company, also a really exciting one. So stay tuned for that, and I look forward to seeing how BRNE turns out over the next few weeks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.